We'll let the ruckus from the chairs settle before we launch into America the Beautiful, but thank you for being at Iowa City Noon Rotary today. We will get our meeting started.
Here we go. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber woods of grace, for purple mountain majesties above the heaven. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with motherhood from sea to shining sea.
I pledge allegiance. You may be seated. Vern, were you our greeter today? He's got the greeter clipboard, so we're going to give him greeter credentials here and invite him up. If you brought a guest today, please come on up. We'll have you introduce your guests. And Vern will ask if we've got any visiting Rotarians.
Okay, yeah, I'm Vern Folkman. Know most of you, but anyway, I was expecting a Rotary guest today. Norm Hinkle, is he in the crowd? No? Well, maybe he's coming, maybe he's late. Anyway, he was going to be presenting something with me to one of our members here, two of our members, or one member and one guest, I guess. Anyway, getting on with it, we don't have any Rotarians, but we do have, I think you have a guest, don't you? Yep. A couple of them. You want to do that first?
Sure. JJ's got a guest as well. He can come on up. My guest today is no stranger to the club, Tom Davies. He actually went through orientation yesterday, filled out his application form on the spot, and is well on his way to becoming another fine member of our club. So welcome, Tom.
So I'm JJ. I actually brought my wife with me today, Jessie. She's over here. So I'm getting inducted into the club today. So I figured I'd bring her along and introduce her to a few people. So if you see her, please say hi.
Thank you. And I have three guests today, actually. Number one is Marlene Mendoza. She's a consultant for clients. Marlene, you want to stand up and wave? And then I have Tom Johnson, who is with the Business Partners, formerly Commerce Commission. Tom is a member of marketing, is his title. And then, let's see. Oh, I guess I just have two. Oh, no, here we go. David Lemire. He's almost a member. I haven't given him the member proposal, but he's going to join. So these folks, I've all met these at the Chamber Business Partners on a Monday luncheon that I always go to. And so we've been promoting this, and Ryan's been promoting it. So a lot of these new members are coming from that thing that we have together. So we get to know it, and it's a good way to find new members. So, but I challenge you to bring some members because we got to grow this club. Thank you.
Thank you, Vern. And yes, Vern has been on the trail of securing new members via our business partnership coalition. So good job to Vern, bringing in lots of fresh new faces. Yes. Yep, she is, and her name wasn't listed. So we need to get Renee, Coach Renee, who, thank you very much, Kelly, is visiting us. She's the head coach of the Iowa women's softball team, and she's Also, getting the ground level view of what our club's all about, because she just signed on to do our program February 3rd, I think it is. So welcome, Renee. Yeah, if it's not written on my agenda, there's a pretty good chance I'm gonna forget it. So thank you, thank you very much. We are a singing club, so we're gonna welcome our own Mr. Bob Crane back up to lead vocals on Smile, and Devin is gonna twinkle the keys there. Is that what they say? Tickle.
Now we should know this one by now. Okay, maestro, do it. Smile and the world smiles with you. Sing a song. Don't be weary, just be cheery all day long. Whenever your trials, your troubles, and your cares seem to be more than you can really bear, smile, and the world smiles with you. Sing a song. Boom. Thank you.
With gusto. Thank you, Bob. Okay, it is time for announcements. I'll go ahead and lead those off, but if you've got an announcement to make for the club, please walk on up here and get ready to do so. First one, you guys know, is all about planting trees. Our environmental committee person is here today, Steve Schomburg. It's great to see him fresh from the Miscanthus harvest. But we are on October 15th going to be out here planting lots of big mature trees for all of us to watch grow over the next several decades. So 9 a.m. on October 15th, we would love for anybody and everybody to join us. Miss Renee thinks she might be bringing several of her Iowa softball team to help plant some trees. So Coach Heller, if you want to bring any baseball players, you're welcome to do that too. I'll just say that. Eric, it looks like you've got an announcement.
Thank you, President Ryan. I'm Eric Weiler. It's great to see everyone every Thursday, as always. If you remember back to June 30th, when we officially inducted Ryan as club president, we presented him with the Rotary gavel and some other items. Well, we had another item that we didn't have with us at that time that we'd like to present to him today. So Ryan, on behalf of the Rotary Board of Directors, we have your official Rotary President pin to wear with pride. Yep. Ryan, here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Drown, and my announcement is in regards to the Rotary Youth Leadership Program as well as World Affairs. All of you on the table, there is a pamphlet about it, but we are looking for continued donations to allow West City or Liberty students to have a wonderful experience summer 2023 and enjoy the RILA and World Affairs impactful week-long program. So it's about $500 for students to go for a single student. So anything and everything helps. So if you're interested in donating, you can pick up the pamphlet or reach out to Julia Winter or Patty McCarthy. Thank you.
LaDonna Wickland. I just want to remind you that tonight is our long-awaited Literacy Champions Party. And if you're coming, please make sure you know where you're coming. Pick up one of these. And if you decide at about 5:30 that you're bored and want to join your fellow Rotarians at this party, you are most welcome. Most welcome. Everyone is welcome. Thanks.
Hi. Wow. Okay. Sorry. First time with the microphone. I'm Anna Moyer Stone. I am here to tell you about the Joint Service Club Luncheon and also to apologize for my attire. And that is because after this, I'm going to be coaching my daughter's girls on the run team, which now I'm really embarrassed because like collegiate sports was just never really in. Yeah. And also like anything with a ball was never anything I was good at. So I can like tell 9-year-olds how to run and I'm like, okay at that. Also, Devin and Ryan didn't tell me it was like dress up day. So now I'm feeling like really bad, but the Cool Shoe Award goes to Kelly Drown. So check those out. Also, before Ryan kills me, because he really wanted all of the announcements to go really quickly today. Sorry. The real reason I'm here is because I want to sell you a ticket to the Joint Service Club luncheon. And you can do that online. We have sent you the link. It's in your email, either through Ryan's email on our website, on the notes. But if that is too much for you, or you just want to get it done with now, come see me on your way out. I'm over there by the well-dressed Devon, yellow tie, black sweatshirt, cool running shoes, hot running pants. The black ones weren't on sale. See me on your way out. It is October 13th. It is here. It's just like regular, but you have to buy a ticket in advance to see the president of the university talk. I mean, coaches, that's fine and everything, but for the university president, you have to pay extra. Sorry. So come see me on your way out. Have I used up all of my time? All of my time. Bye.
Thank you, President Ryan. I've got a real pleasant job today because Norm Hinkle was supposed to come and help me with this, but he didn't show for some reason. I hope he isn't in a car accident or something, but anyway, he's very reliable, so it must be a good reason. Anyway, I'll do it alone. And I'd like to have Gary and LaDonna Wickland come up, please. And what we're going to do is these folks have stepped up and did a major investment designation. What that means is that they've continued their Paul Harris Society up to the maximum, which is 10,000. Then you jump into a major investor. There's 4 levels of that. So they're at level 1. And that is a great accomplishment, and I want to honor them for that. And so LaDonna, you know, has been a member of this club about 18 years, and she was instrumental in getting Gary a member in Vail, is what she told me anyway, because he spends a lot of time out there. So Gary is not a member, but he's just like an old shoe. He shows up, and that's great. We love that. So today I want to award you this, and LaDonna and Gary both, you know, I can read for about the time she's been a member, and she's accomplished and even got it sold to the district. They're helping you with this, aren't they? So how many children have you made this? I mean, you got a guess? 10,000. Wonderful. See, this program she has, you all know about it, but it's a new concept on how to teach children to read, and it's done through song, so it's something that they really enjoy. So, and it goes right in with Rotary, because actually we're singers here, aren't we? I mean, we've got good voices. And I want to say it's special to the coaches. We're glad to have you here because you're part of our life. So good. Anyway, getting back to this, I want to award you, first of all, LaDonna, I want to award you this crystal. And it's beautiful. You can set it on your shelf and display it. And if you don't want to, you can put it in that box. The box is pretty also. And then these pins go with it. And it's a diamond on the top with Paul Harris. And you wear that with pride. One for you, and also one for Gary. Wear these with pride. And I know you will. I got mine on, finally. I keep forgetting it, but anyway, let's stand and give him a big hand.
Excellent. Gary and LaDonna, great to see you guys, and thank you for all of your Rotary service. I'm going to invite Eric Weiler, immediate past president Eric Weiler, back up. We're doing a little pin exchange. So the pins must have just shipped in from overseas. But I didn't know this until today, but when you're president, after you've served your term, you get a special new badge. And that says past president. Yep, throw that one into the dumpster. You don't need it anymore. And then much like Eric just gave me, he's got a president's pin or a past president's pin for his service to our club. So thank you very much, Eric. You were a great president for the course of a year, and you showed me the ropes of how to not mess up too badly up here. So thank you. Okay, on to a very important segment of our program today. We're going to induct 2 new members. Always a really cool thing to grow our club. And especially with these 2 members, I'm going to have them both come up. JJ Hardy and Lisa, where'd she go? Lisa Mills is right there in the middle. Come on up, guys. To be inducted into the club takes a little while. So you probably have gotten to know these folks over the past several weeks. And even months. I remember Lisa came to her first meeting when we were still at the Highlander. So it's awesome to have you both here with us today. We're gonna finally make you official, get you one of these badges so you feel part of the club. And I'm gonna read some quick intros just so you guys all feel like you know them a little bit better. And then here in a couple weeks, they will ride the goat and you'll really get to know them. So we'll start with Lisa. Her background, before joining ServPro, which is where she works as a marketing representative, she was a real estate broker in California. She relocated to Iowa to be close to her daughter and has recently completed her PhD at the university, while her daughter completed her PhD. She felt it so important to get involved with her newfound community. She immediately joined the Iowa City Business Partnership, which is where I first met Lisa. And that's allowed her to meet some amazing individuals and really get to know the community. ServPro has been a member of the Home Builders Association for years, and she found out that that organization had a women's council, which she was immediately gravitated towards, and really kind of helped her know that that's a great organization to serve and help with. And also helping young girls and women to become successful in a predominantly male industry of construction and home building. It is vital to see women flourish as leaders in any business position. So thank you for giving so many women a leg up in that industry, Lisa, and for all your service to both the Chamber of Commerce or Business Partnership and what I know you'll grant to Rotary here as a member. So welcome into the club, Lisa Bill. And JJ has had near perfect attendance since he first visited our club here. He is originally from Iowa City, graduated from West High, served a career in the Army as a senior transportation logistics manager, and he's a passionate leader at many levels. This gave him the opportunity to travel the world and learn from leaders from many, many countries. We have his wife with us today. They got married in 2006. They have 2 children, daughter almost 16. We've shared some trials and tribulations of raising teenage daughters. So we're a kindred spirit there. And then their son is almost 13. Both have birthdays coming up next month in October. In late June, he started his own business as a leadership consultant to help businesses solve problems with retention and productivity. Currently, his passion is to use his 22 years of Army leadership experience to help professionals and set a great example for his own children through volunteer service. You're in the right spot for that. Not only is he in Rotary, he's also been a member of the Corridor Kiwanis Club and a member of the Business Partnership, and he is very much looking forward to being involved in our club. So welcome, JJ. And you all got to see Barb give like a perfect kind of representation of what it means to join our club last week. I couldn't find where she got all that great information. So I'm gonna wing it and just tell you guys that you're part of an amazing club here in Iowa City. We give back and do a lot of service projects, as you've heard, around the community, but also joining Rotary enables you to go to over 3,000 different clubs all around the country. So as you travel, take Rotary with you and meet new people all across the world. And you can always use Rotary as a place that you've got that one thing in common. Walk into any Rotary meeting and you'll feel one of the club, I promise you. So It is with great honor that we recognize both of those. Caleb, did you get a picture of the newbies yet? All right, we're all settled. We'll put you up on Facebook. If you could gravitate towards the back of the room as we end our meeting, you'll be able to meet and greet folks as they're leaving. And without further ado, I'll ask the club members to rise and please welcome them into the club. Welcome, guys. Okay, we are ready for our program. So I'm going to ask Devin to step on up to the mic here and introduce our program speaker today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, President Ryan. Exciting inductions, all kinds of fun stuff, upcoming tree plantings. But today's program, I asked one of my colleagues who works in athletic development at the Center for Advancement, which sports programs are having some cool and fun things coming up and which coaches would be good speakers. And Rick's name came up. So we have with us today Rick Heller, who is an Eldon, Iowa native and became the 20th head coach in Iowa baseball's history in 2013, which is his fourth stop as a collegiate head coach. And he's been at Iowa from 2014, like I said, or 2013, Indiana State, Northern Iowa, and Upper Iowa, leading all four schools to NCAA postseason play. And in 36 seasons as a head coach, you don't look that old, but 36 seasons as head coach, Heller owns a career record of 966, 740, and 4. Those 4, I assume, are ties. That's pretty crazy. That's a very limited number of ties. Ah, there you go. He's one of 2 Iowa head coaches to lead the program to the NCAA tournament and has led the Hawkeyes to 246 victories and 276 victories, an average of 30 wins per season, advancing to 2 NCAA regionals and claiming the first Big Ten tournament title in program history. That 2017 title was Iowa's first since winning the regular season crown in 1990. He was a player at Upper Iowa from 82 to 86. He was a 4-year starter as a shortstop and also lettered in football and basketball, and is a member of the Upper Iowa Athletic Hall of Fame. No wonder, obviously. He's a member of the Iowa American Baseball Coaches Association and serves on the ABCA All-American Committee. He's a member of the Iowa High School Baseball Coaches Associations, and in 2008, he was inducted into the IHSBCA Hall of Fame, and in 2017 received the Harold Pinky Primrose Award, which sounds cool. You'll have to tell us about that maybe. And he has 3 daughters here, Tara and Alyssa and Vivian. 2 of them are out of the house and 1 is 13 years old. So he also has a busy home life, and his wife's name is Rochelle. Thanks so much for being here. We're excited to hear about Iowa baseball. Help me welcome Rick Heller.
Thank you. Thanks, Devin. Thanks for asking me to speak. Baseball coach 2 days before the Michigan football game. I don't know if that was good planning, but I guess I was thinking, it's been a while since I've been on the circuit and talked to many groups. When COVID hit, that all kind of dried up, and now it's kind of heating up this fall and back out and talking about Iowa baseball, and super proud of that. But one thing I thought, what would I want you guys to know about Iowa baseball that maybe you wouldn't know other than the on the field stuff? I think it's important that you guys know we are so proud of the kids that we have in our program. We are a process driven, culture driven, win the day program. You'll never hear me say we have to win this game or win this championship or things that you might think a coach would say. We focus in our recruiting to find the right fit, the right kids that would fit here at the University of Iowa and make all of you proud. We focus on being the best at everything we do, the classroom, weight room, the community, diet, nutrition. And then the baseball stuff, I think we do as well as anybody out there. And then the leadership development that we have within our program, with our captains program, it gets better and better and better. We're in year 10, and I just wanted to say, because not everybody's a sports fan, not everybody's a baseball fan, but I know with the success of the individuals in this group, that's probably a lot of the values that you guys have and how you got to where you were. It was just basically going out and being the best you can at everything you can do every single day. And when you do that, 37 years of doing this, the wins usually take care of themselves. And that's really the heart and soul of what Iowa baseball is and what I tried to do when I took the job, 10 years ago. It seems like just yesterday, but it's flown by, and we try to improve as a staff at our development of our players. We've had a lot of success on the field, and last year was a great year, really, really solid year. And I want to backtrack just a little bit because COVID affected all of us in different ways. I felt like in 2020, when we were shut down, I thought that was the best team that we had assembled. We were off to a 15-5 start, and we'd already beaten Arizona, Arizona, North Carolina, Duke. And I didn't even feel like we had come close to hitting our stride. And then boom, it was gone. Those kids lose that opportunity. Then in 21, the Big Ten put some mandates on us with our scheduling that other, Renee knows too, because it affected softball just as much as it did baseball. And it set us back some, and it set us back with maybe the opportunities to get into the regional tournament, things like that. We survived it though. I think we won 26 games that year in a conference only schedule, most conference games ever by an Iowa team. And we survived and we fought through it. And then last year we come out, probably wasn't as talented a team as either of those two prior teams. But because of the culture, because of the leadership, the way our guys go about their business, we ended up going 36-19 last year. And I think that's the 8th most wins in school history. And then we were 17-7 in Big Ten play. We tied for second. We were 2 games out of first. We had some injuries early that we fought through, and then we ended up winning 8 of our last 9 series down the stretch to make a push to hopefully make the tournament. Won 3 games in the Big Ten tournament, which, by the way, we're in the last 10 years. We're one of 3 teams that have made the Big Ten tournament every one of those years. They don't take everyone in baseball. There's 13 teams that play. Wisconsin doesn't play baseball, and only 8 teams make the conference tournament. Unfortunately, we were snubbed by the committee, and Rutgers was as well. They won 45 games and didn't get in. And it's sad, and it's not something we really want to get in the weeds in, but if you're a baseball fan, I know it was disappointing, and it was disappointing for the kids. They deserved it. They should have been there. But sometimes it takes something really unjust and unfair to make change. And this was so bad that it raised a lot of red flags. And we now have Commissioner Warren. We have the majority of the ADs in the Big Ten that under, in their political circles, it has been a point of emphasis, and hopefully it'll never happen again, and things will change for the better. But I guess the point in telling you about the 3 years, you can look around the league and not just our league, but other leagues as well. And some teams during that time period crashed and burned. I mean, absolutely couldn't sustain. And I just thought it was an interesting insight that our guys didn't. We found a way through the COVID, through all the things that happened to us that we had no control over. And that's our motto. We try to control the controllables, our energy, our effort, our attitude, and go about that every day. And I think our kids did an awesome job during a really tough time. And we're sitting in a really good place right now. We had some kids last year that had phenomenal seasons. We've had the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year 2 straight years. This year it was Adam Mazer, Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. He was an All-American, All Big Ten, All Region, all those things. And the year before it was Trenton Wallace. And it was the first 2 we've had in Iowa history, which is pretty impressive. And the pitching last year was just phenomenal. We broke all kinds of records. We had 609 strikeouts on the season, which broke the school record. We led the Big Ten in virtually every pitching statistic, and we're top 5, top 10 in the majority in the country. We had Keaton Anthony, who was the freshman of the year in the Big Ten. Keaton, thankfully, turned down quite a bit of money in the draft last year to come back to school, which I think that says a lot for our program and where it's at, that he did turn down the professional draft and came back and bet on himself to have an even better year, and hopefully, parlay that into a better draft status this year. So we'll have Keaton back. We had a reliever named Ben Butel, and he's a great story. Ben had a horrible year in 21, terrible year. It was his senior year, and all the COVID kids got an extra year, and Ben was a walk-on. And I thought, well, Ben's career's over, feel bad for him. He didn't have that great a year. He's a good kid. And in his exit meeting, he goes, I'm going to come back for my extra year. And I'm like, well, Ben, you're not on scholarship. You're going to have to pay for the whole thing. I'm not going to live with how bad this was the rest of my life. I'm going to come back and I promise you I'm going to have a good year. And we're like, well, okay, that sounds good. And he came out and he was all Big Ten. He was all region. And then he won a really big time award. It's a really cool award. He won the Gold Glove Award. It's just like the Major League Gold Glove, exactly the same award, same trophy. And only one position gets it in the entire country in Division I. And Ben was a phenomenal fielder at his position. And plus he had a great left-handed pickoff move. I think he picked off 10 guys last year and just made some awesome plays. So he won the Gold Glove Award. And that's a great story on betting on yourself and coming back, and really happy for Ben. And then to make the story even better, he signed with the Chicago White Sox. So he's still playing. So that was a good story. And then Peyton Williams, Johnston, Iowa, kid, big first baseman. If you follow us, Peyton had an awesome year and was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. And then we had another pitcher, Dylan Nedved, who came back for his 5th year, and he was drafted by the San Diego Padres. Adam Mazer, the kid that was the All-American. Adam was the highest draft pick we've had at Iowa since 1990 when Tim Costa was drafted in the first round. Adam was the 53rd player taken. So really phenomenal year for our program and for our kids. And then, the records, all that stuff, that's great. I wanted to mention my staff. One of the big reasons for the pitching success is our pitching coach, Robin Lund. Cool story that I'll try to tell the quick version, but Robin and I met at UNI. I was at UNI for 10 years, and you guys know they dropped baseball. In my 10th year, pretty traumatic situation and hardest thing I've gone through, kind of kicked us to the curb, but kept fighting and it all worked out and for the best. But when Robin came on board, it was 2002. It was my 2nd year at UNI, and he was a professor in exercise science. He had been a baseball player. He's from Grand Prairie, Alberta, which I think is 14 hours once you hit the border. It's way up there. And his father dropped him off in Lewiston, Idaho when he was 14 years old because there was no baseball in Grand Prairie. And he stayed with the host family and never left the States, and played baseball in college, was coaching. And he and his wife were having their first child, and they both decided that the coaching life wasn't what they wanted to raise their children. And so they both got their PhD and went into education. And so Robin walks in my office in 2002 and says, hey, you don't know me, but I'm a professor here, just got hired, and I need a baseball fix. I'll do whatever you need me to do for free. So we became friends and colleagues, and he helped us with our strength program. And he was always the guy that was helping us with the new technology and what was on the cutting edge, and the Edgertronic cameras and all of the stuff that kept us ahead of the competition on the technology front. And I'd asked him a couple times at Indiana State if he wanted to get out and come coach with me, and timing wasn't right. And here about 4 years ago, we had a pitching coach named Desi Druschel, and some of you may know Desi. Desi was a longtime coach at Mount Mercy in Cedar Rapids, and came to work for me. I think it was my 2nd year here, and did a phenomenal job with our pitchers. And then the Yankees stole him. It's a good story. He comes up to me 2 weeks before the season starts and said that the Yankees offered him a job. And then to make matters worse, they also offered our hitting coach the job. And I lost my hitting coach and my pitching coach 2 weeks before the season started. By the way, last night when Judge hit the home run, that guy, Desi Druschel, that was with us, 4 years later, he was in the dugout. He's assistant pitching coach for the New York Yankees. And I saw him congratulating Aaron Judge last night in the dugout. So Hawkeye done well there. And then Joe, the other guy, is the director of hitting for the whole organization for the New York Yankees. So those guys were awesome. And but Robin comes in. I said, hey, Robin, I'm in a pinch. You want to get out, give up a 16-year tenured professor position? And he's like, you know what? I think timing might be right. And his daughter was going to Augustana to play softball. And the middle son was graduating, and the older one had to wear it because he was going to have to change schools for a couple of years. And thank goodness he did, because as good as Desi was, a major league pitching coach, Robin is as good as it gets in the entire country, and we're so blessed to have him. He turns down pro jobs about once every 3 weeks. The Blue Jays was the last one 3 weeks ago that made a run at him. I was a little nervous because he's a Canadian, so I thought he might go to the Blue Jays. But that's a little bit about Robin Lund. If you haven't followed him, there was a really nice article Chad Leistow did on Robin and the technology and all the things that we're doing in our program on that front. And then we also have a manager's program here that is the gold standard in college baseball. Started out with one field manager, kind of traditional 10 years ago. And right now we have 26 brilliant kids that go to the University of Iowa that want to be a part of our program in analytics, pitch design, video, scouting, everything you can think of. And having Robin in his background as a professor, he's been able to mentor those kids, and that program just keeps growing. We put 6 of our managers in professional baseball last year, just last year. And we will have 60 to 80 apply for the openings each year. That's how far that program has come. And we're super, super proud of those kids, and they give us an edge. I mean, we're always looking to be on the cutting edge of everything we do, and those kids help us get there. And then Marty Sutherland is our recruiting coordinator and works with our hitters. Marty played for me at UNI in 2000 and 2001, was gone a year, and then he coached with me the last 7 at UNI, and then he's been with me all 10 years here at Iowa. And you see the talent that we've had and all the kids that have gone on to play professionally. Marty's the guy who spearheads that recruiting effort and is the one that organizes everything for us on the recruiting front. And we're super blessed to have him. I guess that's kind of the state of the union with the program. We're in fall ball right now. It's actually a very busy time. We were just talking at our table. Actually, the fall in our world is busier than the spring, and the spring is pretty hectic. But right now we're in full fall practice. I got practice at 2 today, and we scrimmage. And then tomorrow we're going to play 14 innings against a junior college as a scrimmage to see our guys play tomorrow afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock. So we're going full practice. We're going full recruiting. You're still trying to see junior college kids play. And then the high school kids that don't play football, or some of them do both, they're still playing tournaments on the weekend through mid-October. So we're still in a heavy recruiting period where we're on the road and having recruits come on campus, which we'll have, every football weekend, we're going to have kids on campus from the recruiting side. And then, some things I'll hit on a little bit later. We're busy, really busy fundraising. The fundraising efforts has really heated up for what we're trying to do, and some exciting stuff going on with the baseball program. So that's where we're at. We also play next Friday. So if anybody's bored, we play 14 hours. You can come watch an inning, sit in the sun, and then leave. We're out there for a long time, and we start at 3 o'clock the next 2 Fridays. Then we'll have a week off, and then we will finish the fall with our black and gold World Series. What we do is the captains pick the teams, and they have to pick like all the support staff, the academic advisors. So everybody's on a team, and then the losing team has to buy supper for the winning team. So that's how we end it in our fall. And then we'll go into a training period where we'll get after it in the weight room and a lot of swing changes, pitching changes. That's the time that all happens, between mid-October and Christmas break. And then, as you guys know, they make us play in the winter. So January 15th, they'll come back from break, and we'll be playing February 15th. And here we go again, and on the road for 4 weeks. A lot of things have changed in college athletics. I'm not sure how familiar all of you are. You probably followed a little bit, but the name, image, and likeness has really flipped our world upside down. I mean, my life in the recruiting world has done a 180 in the last 8 months. It's here. It's not leaving. It's something we all have to deal with. The kids can be paid to do jobs or to represent a business or advertising. That's the truest form of what was passed. Unfortunately, it's gone with some loopholes to billionaires funding collectives and paying the kids to play. And baseball has, in our sport, we've been hit hard. We got beat up pretty badly this summer in the recruiting wars. We only have 11.7 scholarships for 35 players. That's how it works in baseball. So you can imagine if you could turn your program into a full ride sport with NIL money and then supplement with 10 to 30,000 above full ride, that'd give you a pretty great advantage. And that's what the first 12 pitchers we went after this summer all got full rides plus 10 to 30 grand above full ride. And we're offering our 50% or 60% on the big end. And so those are the battles we're facing. And you saw the Swarm Collective was formed because football and basketball are feeling the same pains. And we're trying to form our own baseball collective. Don't know what else to do. The only alternative is get your brains beat out. So that's the only thing I know to do is to fight back the way everyone's fighting back. And we can all, I told our staff, I said, listen, it's pretty rough now, but when all the conference realignment is finished and whatever we end up with, 2 power conferences, 3 power conferences, we got to have faith that some sanity is going to come back. And so maybe for these next 2 years, it's going to be rough and we're going to have to figure out a way to stay afloat and keep fighting. But I really believe that there will be some sanity brought back once those alignments happen. And on the baseball side, and I think Renee would tell you on the softball side, the addition of UCLA and USC, not so much USC for them because believe it or not, USC doesn't play softball, which makes no sense, but they don't. But in baseball, that's probably as good a thing that could have happened to us in the Big Ten because we added 2 traditional power baseball schools with administrators who are going to push for positive baseball changes in our sport and in our league. Commissioner Warren pounded his fist on the table at our meeting in August. He was upset over us not getting in and Rutgers not getting in and kind of how we've been treated nationally the last couple of years. And he said, baseball is important. It's going to be important. We're going to win and we're going to win championships. And when this all settles, we're going to be beating the SEC in baseball. And that's what I want. And so to hear our commissioners say that was a big, big positive because we hadn't heard that in the past before. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on all of that. And then the super positive thing is that when I first arrived, we had a stadium. We wanted to build a new stadium, but we did it in phases. So year 1, we were able to get the funding to put the turf on the infield, and then year 2, we finished the turf in the outfield, and basically everything that you see now at Banks Field was phase 2. And we had a lot of momentum. We'd been to a regional and things were going really well on tearing the bowl down. I'm talking same location, just tear the bowl down and put up a new modern, similar to a smaller minor league field, 3,000 seats, all chair backs, modern amenities, better bathrooms, concessions, fan experience is what we're shooting for. And then unfortunately, the north end zone foundation was crumbling and all of us kind of got put on hold and took one for the team because we had to make a decision with that north end zone. And the decision was made to do it right, tear it down, but it was $90 million. That was an unplanned fundraise. So a couple of years went by where we were all trying to pull in the right direction and get that done. And then we were open back up to go out to fund for the stadium, and then COVID hit, and that set us back another year. And but this past year and a half, people have been extremely generous to us. It looks like, knock on wood, unless something crazy happens, and we all know that it's probably the worst time in American history to build anything because of building costs and supply chain and all those things. But the goal is to have a shovel in the ground in June. So I'm happy to say that to you. We're getting close to 22 million raised, a few more to go, and some asks out that I think we're going to get to where we need to go. And it'll be hopefully something that'll be a showpiece between Carver and Kinnick and something that we can all be proud of for the next 30, 40 years. So that's where we're at in the stadium progress. And then that's all I had right now. And I'm just going to open it up for quick questions. And I talked a long time, so you're probably ready to get the heck out of here. So. All right. All right. Well, just visualize the bowl that we, what will be some of the major changes at the new stadium. So just visualize the bowl, the seating bowl completely gone and a new one built, basically the same footprint. It'll have it'll have an entrance that'll look like a pro park where it's pretty, it's landscaped. It'll just be a lot nicer than what we have. It'll probably be 15 to 20 feet higher. The press box that we have right now, the roof is caving in, and it's worse than every high school press box probably in Iowa City. And so the press box will be the showpiece of that. And it'll have a big lounge meeting room that we can use for team stuff, recruits, that type of thing in the back. And then just the modern amenities, because right now we sell out virtually every day the weather's nice. I mean, there's almost a sellout every time the weather's nice, which is great. But I get emails from people all the time that if they go down to get a water, they miss 2 innings, or the women's bathrooms are so bad, that they don't want to go and use them. All of those things should change, and it'll be a really nice, just like I said, like a little minor league park. And then we're going to build it with room for expansion down the sides, because there is an underground movement to move the season back a month. And if we move the season back a month and played through June, we would average probably 5,000 a game, in June when there's nothing else going on and the weather's nice. And that's the hope that someday, I hope I get experience before I retire. I fought for 20 years to push the season back. And hopefully it'll happen in my time, but if not, it's set up so that the next coach can expand if need be. We're going to put, I think, like a party deck area down the left field side, or a patio, and where people can rent out, and they can, because it's a big open area right by that bullpen. What is the media coverage on play-by-play? Yeah, every one of our radio guy travels with us for every game. All the games, if you can get them online and listen to every game as a radio broadcast. The majority of our games now are streamed, even on the road, and it's fairly easy to get lined up from the website. If you go to the baseball website, it'll tell you in the game notes where you can go to stream, where you can go to listen to the radio. And then if anybody wants this, just email me and I'll put you on my list. I do a weekly email blast that I send to anybody that wants to listen, and I talk about how things are going and who's doing what and what's going on in the program. And then I usually do a scouting report on who we're playing. And then I also put all that information in the email each week after the weekend series. So I do that every week of the regular season, and then I send them out periodically through the fall and summer. So if you want to be on that list, just shoot me an email and I'll get you on the list. Yeah. So in the chat, he said the business students have done business analytics for the baseball team. And yes, it has been very helpful. The majority of it is done with business students who apply for manager positions and then take it and have specific jobs that they're doing or specific projects that they're doing. And if you follow them on social media, if you're into the social media, the managers do a great job on the Twitter site of putting a lot of information out that they're working on. But it has allowed us to do things that nobody else in the country are doing. Well, he said expand on the move the season back because there's politics with the Southern teams not wanting to lose their advantage. And really that's all it is. That's the only reason that we're playing when we play. What we did as Big Ten coaches when we had the COVID shutdown, we met twice a week, every week. And we put together a plan to move the season back. We answered all the questions that the Southern guys used as excuses. It's too hot. We wouldn't draw any fans. So we took a attendance data for all the warm weather minor league teams and showed them that they would draw, that those teams were some of the highest drawing minor league teams out there. In fact, the number one fan attendance in minor leagues that year was Las Vegas, Nevada, as hot as it gets. So we just tried to dispel everything that they had. We put together a pamphlet this big, and it's still out there. It's a wonderful piece, and I think it will eventually get it done. And then we went on Zoom calls with all of the other leagues and just listened to them, and we sold it. We sold it that it would be better for baseball. They would do better attendance wise. Tried to dispel all the problems. They'd still get the same kids, see, because that's their biggest problem. They feel like that, number one, when in college baseball, the home team wins over 70% of the time. So we have to travel the first 4 weeks. I mean, that's just, and plus we can say what we want to say, but you're using their umpires too. And let's face it, you get the, Jackson, Mississippi in February, you might not get a fair game, or Louisiana or Texas. It's tough. It's tough because that's what they'll say. They'll use those early games against us, not getting in the tournament late. And so, okay, well, we're supposed to go play the first 4 weeks on the road, and we're supposed to play good teams. And oh, by the way, you're supposed to win, and we haven't even practiced outside yet. I mean, it's just silly. And until we get it changed, we're fighting an uphill battle, which we do a good job of, but it is what it is. So I do believe, though, if we go to the two power conferences, that I know Sankey, the SEC commissioner, he knows it would be better for the game. We would have more TV coverage in the summer because the Big Ten Network, SEC Network, they don't have any coverage in June. Replays of old football games is all they have. And there's just a lot of positives to doing that. The kids aren't missing class. In all of the northern schools, which is 3/4 of the population of NCAA Division I, the budgets are being saved. Most of our budget is spent the first 4 weeks having to travel. So there's a lot of positives, and I do believe that at some point, and us getting more warm weather teams in our league will help. And I don't think it's done. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think we'll end up with 2 to 4 more West Coast schools in the conference, which will make the scheduling more balanced and much easier on the travel. And if that happens, it just is more ammunition to change the season. So, all right, thank you. Careful.
Thank you very much, Coach Heller. That was informative and excellent. Best of luck to your upcoming season. And in response to you giving us your time, we're going to donate $10 to the Rotary Polio Plus Foundation, which will be tripled thanks to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So thank you again for your time. We will go ahead and wrap up our meeting. Our PowerPoint slide has died. So we're going to rely upon everybody's memory for the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.